Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss on projectile motion. The best method to understand the concept is through solving questions. So here I have a question. The question is the time of flight of the projectile depends upon A. Angle of projection, B. Acceleration due to gravity, C. Mass of projectile, D. Magnitude of velocity of projection. So in order to solve this question, let's understand the concept of projectile motion. In projectile motion, a body is thrown with some velocity at some angle with the ground. So when the body is in motion, it moves along an axis parallel to the ground, as well as it moves along the axis perpendicular to the ground. So we can say that projectile motion is a two-dimensional motion. So we can clearly say that projectile motion is a two-dimensional motion. So let me draw a horizontal line in order to represent the axis parallel to the ground. You can call this as a horizontal axis. You can call this as horizontal axis or x axis. And here the vertical line represents the axis perpendicular to the ground. Perpendicular to the ground, you can call this axis as a vertical axis. Vertical axis or y-axis. So the axis parallel to the ground is considered as a horizontal or x-axis, and the axis which is perpendicular to the ground is taken as vertical axis. Clear? Now a body is thrown with velocity u. The body is thrown with velocity u, making some angle with the horizontal. Let the velocity along the horizontal axis be vx, and the velocity along the vertical axis be vy. Here we are neglecting the air resistance. So air resistance is neglected. So if I consider the motion of the body along the horizontal axis, what are the forces acting on my body? If along the horizontal axis, no forces are acting on the body. Hence, acceleration along the horizontal axis is 0. This implies that Vx becomes constant, which is equal to u cos theta. Vx is constant, which is equal to u cos theta. If I resolve this vector u along the horizontal axis as well as the vertical axis, so along the component along the horizontal axis is called u cos theta, and the component along the vertical is called u sin theta. So the velocity along the horizontal component is fixed, constant, which is equal to u cos theta. Then next, when we consider the vertical axis, then the gravitational force is always acting on the particle, and it is in the direction towards the earth, that is downward. The body direction is taken as the positive direction, hence the direction of gravitational force will be negative. So the acceleration in the along y-axis is minus g. The acceleration along y-axis is minus g. So we can get the equation Vy, that is velocity along y-axis, is equal to uy, that is initial velocity, plus acceleration along y-axis into time. Time is any time. So this expression will give me velocity at any time. So I can write here Vy is equal to uy is u sin theta, plus ay is minus g t. So this will give me the value of Vy at any point of time, at any point of time. Now let's try to understand, let us try to understand the motion of path project. Okay, motion of path, that is we call it as trajectory of projectile. So in order to understand that, let's take the displacement along x-axis as well as y-axis. In time t, displacement along x-axis is equal to, I am writing it as x, displacement along x-axis is equal to x. X is equal to Vx into t. What is Vx? U cos theta into t, or I can write it as t is equal to x by u cos theta. So let us write it as 1. Now the displacement by the body along the y-axis, how much? Y is equal to, the displacement along the y-axis is, I am taking it as y is equal to Vy into t plus half Ay into t square, right? So I am using the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square. So let me put the values, specific values for this projectile. What is Vy? U sin theta into t, half Ay is minus g, so minus I have written in the front, gt square. So this will give me displacement at any time t. So let me write this equation as equation number 2. If I put 1 into equation 1 into what I will get, y is equal to u sin theta into t. What is the value of t? X by u cos theta minus half g t square. T square means x by u square cos t square, x square by u square cos square theta. Now see here, u gets cancelled, so I have tan theta x minus half g by u square cos square theta into x square. So this is y. So this gives the trajectory of the projectile. Trajectory is the path traversed by the projectile. If you look clearly, this equation is in the form y is equal to ax plus bx square. So what is the shape of the projectile? Shape of the projectile is parabola. So we can conclude from this equation that the shape of the projectile between x and y is going to be a parabola. So let us draw the parabola. Here. Okay. So this is a parabola. Let us extend. One thing you should keep in mind that at every point horizontal velocity is constant. At every point horizontal velocity is constant. I'll show you here. See here, if I take a point here, then horizontal velocity is u cos theta and vertical velocity is Vy. Okay, so Vy at this time. Next, if I take at the topmost layer, at topmost point, then here Vy is equal to 0, but Vy is equal to 0, but horizontal component is still u cos theta. Now if I take any point from here to here, then u cos theta, horizontal component remains same, but the vertical component has changed its direction. Now earlier it was upward, now it's downward. That's the effect of acceleration due to gravity. So here we have Vy in the opposite direction, Vy in opposite direction. Clear? Better if you write it as minus Vy. So this is the path traversed by the projectile. Now our question is, what is time of flight of the projectile? Time of flight indicates the time taken by the projectile. Time of flight indicates what? Time taken by the projectile during the motion. That is from starting point when it was projected to the point when it reaches the ground. So this time taken for this space, we'll call it as time of flight. So let's find out what is time of flight. For finding time of flight, let's consider the vertical motion. Let's consider the vertical motion. So we are considering motion in the y-axis. Motion in the y-axis. Okay. Say, see here. See here. Say the time taken by the body to reach again. Okay, the time taken by the body from the point it was launched to the point it came back to ground. We'll call that as time of flight. Okay, so it is represented by capital T. We are representing it by capital T, and there's a point here, okay, where the body reaches maximum height. So at that point, up to that, from starting to up to that point, we'll take it as small t. And the time from the topmost point to the finishing position, again that will also be equal to t. If this is t, that is also t. What is the reason? The time taken by the body to reach the maximum height will be same as the time taken by the body to reach from maximum height to again ground, because acceleration due to gravity is constant in both cases. So that's the reason that both times are equal. So let's try to find this time and multiply it with 2 to get this capital T. Capital T is total time of flight. So in order to find that, we are going to use this equation. So Vy is equal to u sin theta minus gt. Vy is equal to u sin theta minus gt. Right? What is Vy? Vy is velocity at any time t. So at this specific time, what is the velocity? Velocity is 0. Velocity of y-axis. So 0 is equal to u sin theta minus gt. If I take gt to the other side, so I'll get gt is equal to u sin theta. Hence t is equal to u sin theta by g. So if I want a total time of flight, what should I do? I should multiply it by 2. So t is equal to 2u sin theta by g. I hope this is clear. So this derivation itself is enough in order to understand the factors on which the time of flight depends upon. But I'll give another derivation for the time of flight. See along the y-axis. If you consider the displacement along y-axis, then the body has started from ground, reached to a maximum height, and again fell on the ground. See here, the body has started from ground, went to the maximum height, and again came to the ground. So what is the displacement? Of the body along the vertical axis? So it started from ground and its finishing position also on the ground. Hence the displacement along y-axis is how much? The displacement along y-axis is 0. So again I am considering the y-axis. So this time displacement along y-axis is how much? 0. Displacement along y-axis is 0. Let me write this formula here. T is equal to 2u sine theta by g for future reference. So the displacement along the y-axis is 0. And by using a basic formula, what we have, S is equal to, displacement is equal to ut plus half at square. What we have here, we have Sy is equal to uyt plus half A is minus g t square. Okay. So what is the Sy value for the complete? What is the Sy value for complete projectile motion? 0. What is Uy value? Initial velocity along y-axis, u sine theta. What is the time taken for complete flight? Capital T minus half g capital T square. So this is what we have here. So from this expression, if I take t as common, what I am left with? U sine theta minus half gt. Now clearly see, the product of these two quantities are 0. So there could be two cases. Case number 1, either t is equal to 0 or u sine theta minus half gt is 0. What is the meaning of t equal to 0? T is 0 when the body was launched, when the body was projected. So to get the time of flight, it cannot be 0. So it has to be u sine theta minus half gt is equal to 0. So let's see, minus half gt square. Okay, square is not here. So minus half gt, u sine theta went that side, minus u sine theta. So minus got cancelled. T is equal to u sine theta 2, and goes to the numerator, g comes to the denominator. T is equal to 2u sine theta by g. 2u sine theta by g. Now see here, both are same, right? Both are same. So I showed you two ways to derive the time of flight. Okay, both using different concepts. The first concept was the time to reach the maximum height is equal to time to descend from the maximum height to the ground. Okay, both time were equal, so I derived time for here and I multiplied with 2. The second one is displacement along the y-axis. The displacement along the y-axis is 0. Hence again we got the period, okay, time of flight as 2u sine theta. Now let's answer our question. The time of flight of the projectile depends upon a angle of projection. See here, there is angle of projection? Yes. So there is a term called sine theta in our answer. Sine theta. So sine theta depends upon theta. Theta is what? Angle of projection. So option A is correct. Second, acceleration due to gravity, time period. Yes, there is a relation between time of flight and acceleration due to gravity. Hence, this is also correct. Next, mass of projectile. Is there any mass term here? Mass term is absent. So C is not the answer. And what about D? Magnitude of velocity of projection. Okay, see that U. So U is what? U is a magnitude of velocity of projection. Hence, it is directly proportional. So this is also the answer. So what is the answer for our question? A, B and D is the answer. I hope you understood the concept of projectile motion. Also you had derived the motion equation for equation of path traversed by the body, and you also derived the equation in two different ways for time of flight. I hope you have understood. If you have any doubt, please comment in the comment section. Thank you.